Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the new sefer that we're learning, TZIPISA, the Yeshua yearning for redemption. And we're right here in the beginning, and he says like this, because of our many sins, we've seen in several places, religion is getting weaker and weaker. And people are disconnecting their children from a young age. From the Torah of Hashem, kids are not being sent to Chedarim, to the Jewish schools to learn Torah. And this did not exist in previous generations. It used to be simple. You had a child, and the goal was to raise him the Torah mitzvahs, and so you put him in the right schools, and he learned from the right people, and he had the right Rabbeim around him. Today, says the Horowitz, as he's going to explain, there are reasons that are leading people astray. When you examine this matter closely, to figure out what is the cause, why is this happening? There are several reasons. But the main reason is Emunah, is the weakening that we have in our Emunah in faith. When a person believes in the eternal world to come, that whatever they do in this world is going to be reward and punishment, and the coming of Mashiach Zidkenu, and all of the promises and the assurances of the Torah, all of this Emunah that Klal Yisrael lived with for thousands of years, is what gave us Emet's power and strength. B'chol dor, in every single generation, Lisa kol hamitzukos v'ataloyos, to bear and to tolerate the oppressions and the difficulties that Klal Yisrael has had to endure for thousands of years. All the pogroms, the holocausts, the anti-Semitism, the poverty, the pain, the suffering, everything, the oppression that Klal Yisrael has gone through. Our Emunah has carried us through all of these generations. V'la'amayid avar dasam, and to stand up on behalf of our das, our religion, our belief in Hashem. B'mesiras nefesh, people willing to give up their lives. Hein ba'atzman, whether themselves, they would sacrifice themselves for the sake of doing what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. Hein es b'neim, or even their children. What does that mean? A father would rather a father would rather see his child shechted, slaughtered in front of his own eyes, al kedushas Hashem, for the sanctification of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name, lahashiv nishmasai tahara, in order to be able to return his soul in a pure state, le'elokei hashamayim, to the God of heaven, than to see his son at the height of his happiness. Im Chalil, if God forbid, Yisalef Darkai, if the son was distorting and abandoning the path, Miderech HaTorah v'Hamitzvah, from the path of Torah and of mitzvahs. A father would rather see his son, says the Horowitz, leave this world in a state of kedusha, in a state of purity, with his neshama and his goof going up in the gas chambers of Auschwitz, but he died as a Yid, saying Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu on his lips, and giving over his life to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, dying because he was a Jew, than to see his son living a life without Yiddishkeit, without mitzvahs, running around with who knows what, with the non-Jewish world, behaving like a non-Jew, eating treif, not keeping Shabbos, all of those things. A father would rather have the satisfaction to know that his son left this world as an er l'chayid, as an honest and a true Jew, than to be immersed in a life that is the antithesis of what Torah and mitzvahs are. And this, says the Horowitz, it was the days of old, when Yidden had a strong level of Emunah. They believed deeply in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in His Torah, and therefore nothing could stand in that way. What is happening in our generation, says the Horowitz, when the Emunah wanes, when our faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu weakens, so then what happens? The children will suffer because they are not going to be raised in a pathway of Torah and of mitzvahs the way that it was in the previous generations. Have a wonderful day. We'll continue Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow.